So this is practically your blueprints on how you are going to move to your favorite study destination by the end of this year. If you follow everything that I teach you in this video, by the end of this year, you are going to be in your favorite study abroad destination. So like this video, share it, grab a pen and paper, so you're going to be taking notes, and most importantly, you have to implement the things that I am going to teach you. So we are covering how you are going to study abroad in 2026. What are the processes? What are the updates? What should you know, and how should you go about this? So I'm calling this your 2026 Global Study Abroad Roadmap. I'm practically holding your hand, giving you this step-by-step guide on how you are going to go about this process. This is actually research from different locations and different universities around the world. So it does not matter wherever you want to study, you are going to find information here that is going to be useful to you. Okay, so let us get right into it, and we are going to, I've divided this into like various steps. Okay, so you have your path to 2026. This is actually your path in 2026, the five-stage journey. So you have discovery, application, admission, visa, and departure. So what we are going to do is step one, you're going to be looking at your discovery. And in this stage, you're looking at the courses you want to study, the country you want to study at, the budget. You have to start that at least 12 months out to give yourself enough time to be sure of everything. Then you have the application phase. And here, this is like 9 to 11 months out. And what you're looking at here is like the portals. Where do you submit your documents, the documents that you have to put together, the tests that are necessary that you have to write. You have to have all of that noted down so that you're sure of what you are going to be doing. And then in the next one, you have the admission. Here you're looking at like 4 to 6 months out, and you're looking at the offers that you're going to get, the tickets that you need. All of those things are very important. And then the next phase, you have your visa phase. 3 to 5 months out, you should be clearing out your visas, the things that are needed. Here you're looking at the biometrics that are necessary, the finances, the interviews, wrapping all of those things up because those are important. And then now you have your departure. This is like 1 month out, thinking about your departure, accommodation, travel. Those are the things that you should be worrying at that time. So if you want to be abroad by like end of the year, you should be starting now. Here it says August, September 2026. I don't think that is feasible unless you started already. But if you're still to begin, you should give yourself at least 12 months out to do everything. So now let us start with phase one, and we are going to be looking at budgeting and proof of financial capacity. It doesn't matter wherever you want to go study in the world, you need to make sure that you get your finances in order, because all of the countries, all of the universities are going to be asking you for that. So you have to sit with yourself and ask either who is going to be sponsoring you, who is your sponsor, or are you the one? Where are finances going to come from? You have to get that cleared out. So you're thinking about the tuition realities, like tuition varies from one country to the other, right? You have the high tuition places like the US, Australia. Then you have the low tuition places. I did a video about this. You can go watch it and then learn from there. And then you have the visa requirements. Proof of funds is something that everywhere they are asking for. So you need to be clear on that. And of course, the things that you have to worry about, visa fees. There are visa application fees for all countries. It varies from one country to the other. You're looking at UK is like £500, and then Canadian dollars 150, Sweden 900 SEK. So it really varies from one country to the other. But just have it in your head that you are going to have to pay this particular visa fees no matter where you are going to. Okay, and then you can now move to the next phase, and here you're looking at the application portals. All places that you apply, or universities that you're applying for to study abroad, you're going to use some kind of an application portal. Some of them is like a centralized system. Some of them, it varies from one university to the other. You have to be clear on what that is. And if you look here, you see that phase two, you have the digital gateways. The UK, you are looking at the UCAS gateway. Sweden, you're looking at universityadmissions.se. Finland, you're looking at studyinfo.fi. Netherlands, you're looking at StudyLink. Germany, you're looking at UniAssist. France, you're looking at Etudes de France. And then for USA, Canada, Australia, it varies by websites. Even for countries in Asia, Japan, China, it varies by websites. You now have to go through those gateways, and that is how you are going to submit your application. Okay, now let us go to the next phase. Here we are in, why is this phase two? Okay, this is still part of phase two. All right, we have the documentation checklist. Here you're looking at what are the documents that you need to have. You need to have all of those documents, because those yeah, you found out the portals and everything, but now you have to submit these documents, right? So we are looking at your academic history, transcripts, certificates, everything, recommendation letters, everything put together, linguistic proof, IELTS, TOEFL, TCF, whatever exams it is that you have to write, you have to have all of that. And then of course your SOP, your personal statement, motivation letter. Be sure of what they are asking you to write. Look at samples. I have samples of them in my database. You can sign up in order to see those samples to guide you to write yours, but it's practically you telling your story, which is important. And then you have references, recommendation letters. Who are those that know you in an academic capacity, those that know you in a corporate capacity? Who are those that can vouch for you, that can say some good things about your work ethic, about your character? How much of a person are you? You need all of those things in order to back you up, right? And then you have your identity, your valid passport. You need a valid passport. It should be at least minimum 6 to 12 months still valid when you are applying for all of this. So make sure you have all of your documents, and then you are one step ahead. Now let us move to phase 3. And in phase 3, we are really looking at now the bridge. This is the bridge now between getting the ticket and then getting to your visa. Okay, so let's talk about visa applications and all of those things. So the bridge between admissions and visa. So you have your offer letter from the university, and then now you have to go through applying for your visas, right? The UK, you have the things that you have to apply. It's called the confirmation of acceptance for studies. You need that. And then if it is to the US that you're going, you need your I-20 form. And then Australia, you have the confirmation of enrollment. Canada, you have the provincial attestation test plus the LOA. I think in Japan also you need the COE, which is called this confirmation of enrollment. And then you have in France, you have the EEF certificate. That is what they are looking for. So an offer letter, as it says here, an offer letter is not enough. So if a university gives you an offer letter, that is just step 1 in the documents that you need. That is not good enough. You need all of these things in order to apply for the visa, okay? And then now let us do a deep dive into like a few countries, like the usual suspects when we think about studying abroad and where people want to study abroad. I'm going to share some thoughts about this because I know that these destinations that we are going to be talking about are extremely famous. Everyone wants to go there. But listen, you guys, in this economy, I think you should be targeting locations that have sort of low tuition rates, ones that have tons of scholarships, ones that can help you not spend a lot of money. But we are still going to discuss this just for you to be able to understand the process and how things go. So you have destination spotlight, North America, Canada, USA. So what are the things that you need? Of course, you have the provincial attestation letter. We already spoke about it earlier for Canada. And then the process, you have to apply for the study permit, and then you get your biometrics in order. You receive the letter, then you receive your introductions. And then for Quebec, you need a CAQ. I have no idea what that is. No idea. Alrighty, if you know, let me know in the comment section. Now you have USA, you have the I-20 form that is needed, and then what are the steps you need to pay your service fee, and then you submit your documents, mandatory in-person interview, and then you now go, you have your proof of intent to depart, and then your financial ability. In-person interview, those are the things that we get a ton of tips about. How should you prepare for it, because it's extremely important. Now let us go to the second destination that we want to put a spotlight on. Usual suspects, UK. You have the student route, which is now called the student route, formerly called the Tier 4. And here they're actually shifting towards e-visas, trying to sort of make it as quick as possible because they are phasing out the process. Of course, now what are the things that you need? Your visa fee, your immigration health surcharge that you have to pay for, and of course apply at least 6 months ahead. We're already talking about the timeline. We'll talk more about timeline again later, but those are the things that you should be thinking about that you need to do. And then the next one here, you have Australia. I know that so many people are interested in going to Australia, so let's talk about it. Here you have the student visa, which is called a subclass 500, and they have to do the genuine test to make sure that you are actually a student. Okay, so it is going to, they say it focus on ties to home and course value. I think the US actually asked also something similar, that they are sort of trying to figure out like, are you a genuine person? Like, you're coming from your country, like, do you have some ties? Will you go back to your country? So I think it is that kind of an idea, like ties to home is very important. And then you need to show cash as usual, proof of funds. Here they are saying it's like 29,000 Australian dollars. Oh my goodness. And then in Australia you can work for like 48 hours every fortnight, so 2 weeks, and then mandatory overseas student health insurance. I don't know why they put that there, because it seems like very out of place. Like, I'm trying to go to a country and you're telling me about working hours there. Like, no, I'm not there yet. Tell me about how to get there. Okay. And then now let us look at Europe as a whole. We are looking at the entire Schengen. So we have let's start with the ones that their deadlines are like almost around this time. I think there should be some with like deadlines that stretch out to like later days of January, because this is like, today is January 22nd, 21st, I think. But here you're seeing deadlines. Sweden, Finland, Netherlands are capped at January 15. Finland goes right up to January 21. So January 15. So I'm hoping that there are some of them that are stretched beyond January 15. I'm really hoping that that is the case. And then Germany, of course, you have the blocked account and things that you have to do uni assist in order to upload your documents. So check. Sweden, Finland, Netherlands, check to be sure that those dates are not already passed. Okay, so now let us look at the visa application. What is going to happen when it comes to that visa application, right? So you have the physical requirements, biometrics. Here they are checking for like things about you, and you must visit like a visa application center, most of them in person, because they really want to look at you, be sure that you're the person that you say you are. Medical exams you have to do, and then you have to do an interview, and these interviews, they are really trying to just make sure that you are who you are. In fact, that is what this whole interview is about. And then phase 5, you are preparing to get out. Okay, departure and border control. So here, this is practically the things that you have to make sure you have your valid passport, make sure you have your ticket, make sure you have your letter of introduction, proof of finances, accommodation address, where are you going to, you need to be sure of that, and then a small amount of cash in that local currency. If you're going to the UK, have some pounds. If you're going to the US, have some dollars, because that is very, very important. Now let's talk about why applications will fail. Why may they not grant you this application that you're doing? Like, why? So let's talk about number 1, missing deadlines. We were already speaking earlier about what are the deadlines for Sweden, and what like, check, be sure of that. Insufficient proof of funds. If you don't have enough, then you're probably not going to be accepted. Generic statements, you really need to be sure about your SOP. Please be sure. And then making sure that you go through that integrity check, like that genuine student test. You need to be sure that you have that. So let us look at an action plan, because I told you I'm going to give you an action plan on what to do right now. Okay, so you have the first 4 months. What you're doing in these first 4 months is you're doing research, budgeting, English test. The next 3 months, you're submitting your documents. Do not mind these dates that are here. The dates are not properly aligned. And then the next 3 months, you receive your letters, your application. And then the next 3 months, you do your visa applications. Probably this is going to be less. And then the last 1 month, orientation, and you are ready to travel. So this is practically your blueprints on how you are going to move to your favorite study destination by the end of this year. Before I tell you the moral of the story, I want to thank the following people, because you all commented on yesterday's video. Some of you reposted, you asked questions, and that is extremely important to engage the video, especially when it is just posted. So thank you all so much. All of you, I'm going to choose who amongst all of you and give an appreciation gift by the end of the month. So we have Kevin Jamie, we have Mr. Jamie, we have Valentine Owusu, we have Mugis, we have Walailahu, and then you have Simple ESQ, you have Ahame Fula, and then you have Miss Keys, and then you have Bruno Mars. And I went through to the person's profile. I was like, who is Bruno Mars? And then he had like 1 follower. I was like, okay, oh yeah, okay, Bruno Mars. It was hilarious. Anywho, the moral of the story is that start now. Do not wait. If you start now, it only gets easier as you go. Okay, and how do I help? You have 2 ways. If you want to do it by yourself, or if you want my help. If you want my help, you can book a one-on-one chat with me. If you want to DIY, you can either sign up for my database that practically has everything, like everything that you need, or you can sign up for my courses, and these courses are self-paced. You can do it at your own like leisure and figure it out throughout. But this course for those that have like low GPAs, those that have been applying and getting rejected, and those that are like newbies to the world of scholarship. So I'm going to see you all tomorrow, same time, 11 a.m. West African time. So do well to subscribe, turn the notifications on, and I'm going to see you all soon. Peace.